Hello friends, welcome back. I am Dr. Sonu Yadav and today's topic of discussion is other mechanism of cell death except necrosis and apoptosis, which we have already discussed. So the other mechanism of cell death includes necroptosis, pyroptosis and ferroptosis. Now coming on to necroptosis. As the terminology suggests, it is a hybrid term of necrosis and apoptosis. That is necroptosis. So it is a hybrid term which includes necrosis and apoptosis. Now, what are the similarities between necroptosis and necrosis? They have same morphological features. That is, there will be cell swelling, cell membrane damage and inflammation. Necroptosis as well as necrosis, they have similar morphological features, that is cell swelling, cell membrane damage and inflammation. And the difference is necrosis is always pathological and necroptosis, it is physiological as well as pathological. So this is the difference, that necrosis, it is always pathological, whereas necroptosis, it is physiological as well as pathological. So basically necroptosis is a programmed cell death, which is similar to apoptosis. Now the difference between apoptosis and necroptosis is that necroptosis is caspase independent. It means there is no role of caspase in the mechanism of necroptosis, whereas apoptosis is caspase dependent. It play important role in the mechanism of apoptosis. Apoptosis is basically caspase induced, whereas necroptosis is caspase independent. So these are the differences and similarities between necroptosis, necrosis and apoptosis. Basically it is a hybrid term. As it is caspase independent, so it is used to kill the cells which are caspase inhibitors, which inhibit the caspase. So basically necroptosis is a backup mechanism of cell death. For example, in CMV, cytomegalovirus, it inhibits the caspase. So necroptosis is used to kill the virus in that case. Now to the introduction part. Necroptosis, it is a hybrid form of cell death. Share aspects of both necrosis and apoptosis. It is a programmed necrosis, which is caspase independent, very important. Necroptosis is caspase independent and it is a programmed necrosis. Morphologically and to some extent biochemically, it resembles necrosis. there is swelling of the cell and organelles. There will be generation of reactive oxygen species, release of lysosomal enzymes, and ultimately rupture of the plasma membrane. So morphological features are, there will be cell swelling, cell membrane damage, and inflammation. These are the similar morphological features shared between necrosis and necroptosis. But it is triggered by signal transduction pathways that culminate in cell death, a feature similar to apoptosis. Now coming on to the mechanism. Cells having TNF receptors will bind to the TNF protein. This is cell membrane, which is lipid bilayer. On the cell membrane, we have a receptor, TNF receptor, tissue necrosis factor receptor. It will bind to a protein, TNF, and there is activation of a complex, that is RIPK1 and RIPK3, that is receptor interacting protein kinase 1 and receptor interacting protein kinase 3. This activation of the complex leads to phosphorylation of MLKL protein, and the phosphorylation of MLKL protein leads to the formation of a pore in the cell membrane, which ultimately leads to cell membrane damage. There is also mitochondrial stress, which leads to formation of reactive oxygen species, and ultimately it lead to cell membrane damage and inflammation. So this is the mechanism behind necroptosis. In the cell membrane, there are receptor, TNF receptor. It bind to the tissue necrosis factor, and there is activation of a complex RIPK1 and RIPK3, that is receptor interacting protein kinase 1 and receptor interacting protein kinase 3. This activation of complex will lead to phosphorylation of MLKL protein, and this phosphorylation leads to formation of a pore in the membrane, which ultimately lead to cell membrane damage. And also there is mitochondrial stress, which lead to reactive oxygen species formation, and this will lead to cell membrane damage and inflammation. Now example of necroptosis. It can be physiological as well as pathological. Physiological, the example is mammalian growth plate, and pathological, all the neurodegenerative diseases. So this is all about necroptosis. Now coming on to the next form of cell death, that is pyroptosis. As the term suggests, it is defined as pyrogen induced apoptosis. mainly involved pyrogen is interleukin 1. So pyroptosis, it is defined as pyrogen induced apoptosis. And the main point is it is similar to apoptosis as it is caspase dependent. Now, what is the difference between apoptosis and pyroptosis? The caspase involved in pyroptosis are caspase 1 and 11, whereas in apoptosis they are 3, 6, 7, 8, 9. So they differ in the caspase. In pyroptosis, the main caspases are caspase 1 and 11. Whereas in apoptosis, the important role is played by caspase 3, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now coming on to the mechanism. Mechanism of pyroptosis. It is induced by bacterial antigens. For example, flagellin. Now this flagellin can enter the cell by two ways. This is lipid bilayer, that is cell membrane, and this is the cytoplasm. Cell membrane will have a receptor which is known as TLR, that is toll-like receptor, and cytoplasm will have a receptor that is NLR, NOD-like, nod-like receptor. Now this bacterial antigen, that is flagellin, it enters the cell in two ways. Either it will bind to TLR, or secondly it directly enters into the cytoplasm and binds to NLR. Now what happens if flagellin will bind to the receptor present in lipid bilayer, that is TLR, toll-like receptor? Then this will lead to activation of procaspase 11 into 11, caspase 11, and which lead to pyroptosis. Now the second mechanism is if flagellin directly enters into the cytoplasm of a cell and will bind to NLR receptor, that is nod-like receptor, then this leads to activation of inflammasome. And inflammasome will lead to activation of procaspase 1 into caspase 1, and this caspase 1 will lead to activation of interleukin 1. It will convert its inactive form into active form. Interleukin 1 as well as interleukin 18, and this will lead to pyroptosis, that is cell death. So this is the mechanism of pyroptosis. That is, if bacterial antigen, for example flagellin, it will enter the cell in two ways. Either it will bind to the receptor present in lipid bilayer, or it will directly enter into the cytoplasm. If it bind to the receptor present in lipid bilayer, that is TLR, there is activation of caspase 11. And if it will directly enter into the cytoplasm, there is activation of caspase 1, which ultimately activate interleukin 1 and 8 and leads to pyroptosis. Now pyroptosis, it is a form of apoptosis accompanied by release of fever inducing cytokine, that is interleukin 1. Microbial products, now mechanism. Microbial products which will enter the infected cell are recognized by receptors and can activate the multiprotein complex called inflammasome. The function of inflammasome is to activate caspase 1, which cleave a precursor form of interleukin 1 as well as interleukin 18. This is the mechanism if antigen directly enters into the cytoplasm. Bind to a receptor, that is NLR. It will activate the inflammasome, and ultimately there is activation of interleukin 1 and 18, which will result in pyroptosis, form of cell death. Unlike classical apoptosis, this pathway of cell death is characterized by release of inflammatory mediators, that is interleukin 1 and interleukin 18. Pyroptosis occurs in cells infected by microbes. It involves activation of caspase 1, which will ultimately activate interleukin 1 and 18. Caspase 1 along with other closely related caspases also cause death of infected cell. So this is all about pyroptosis. That it is pyrogen induced apoptosis. Interleukin 1 and interleukin 18 play important role in pyroptosis. That is a form of cell death, and they are activated by caspase 1. So pyroptosis is caspase dependent, and the morphology is similar to necrosis, that there will be cell swelling, membrane damage, inflammation. Now coming on to the next form of cell death, that is ferroptosis. As the term suggests, it is iron induced apoptosis. When a cell contains high number of iron in its cytoplasm, it leads to ferroptosis. How? The mechanism. Ferroptosis, in the mechanism, the main role is played by glutathione peroxidase 4, GPX4. That is glutathione peroxidase 4. Now, if there is increased iron content in the cytoplasm of a cell, it leads to Fenton reaction. That is, when iron which is excess in the cytoplasm, it react with the hydrogen peroxide and lead to formation of ferric and free radical, reactive oxygen species hydroxyl ion, and this lead to increased lipid peroxide, and this will increased lipid peroxide will lead to ferroptosis. That is a form of cell death. So this is the mechanism involved in ferroptosis, that is formation of hydroxyl ion which lead to increased lipid peroxide and ultimately ferroptosis. Now normally in a normal cell, this is controlled by or checked by glutathione peroxidase. How? Glutathione peroxidase, it is regulated by reduced glutathione, that is GSH. It acts as a cofactor. In a cell undergoing ferroptosis, there is decreased reduced glutathione, which lead to decreased activity of glutathione peroxidase, and which will lead to increased lipid peroxide and ultimately ferroptosis. But in a normal cell, this reduced glutathione is in normal amount, as this glutathione peroxidase, it inhibit lipid peroxide. When it inhibit lipid peroxide, there is conversion of oxidized glutathione into reduced glutathione. So the amount of reduced glutathione is maintained, and it acts as a cofactor for glutathione peroxidase 4, which will inhibit lipid peroxide and prevent ferroptosis, that is cell death. So in a normal cell, there is normal amount of reduced glutathione, that is GSH. This can be converted into oxidized glutathione. But now how this oxidized glutathione is again converted into reduced form? By the activity of glutathione peroxidase, it will inhibit lipid peroxide, and this lead to conversion of oxidized glutathione in reduced glutathione with the help of reductase enzyme, that is glutathione reductase. Oxidized glutathione is known as GSSG. So this is the mechanism involved in ferroptosis. When the iron is increased in the cytoplasm, it leads to Fenton reaction, which lead to formation of hydroxyl ion, and this lead to increased activity of lipid peroxide, which lead to ferroptosis. The increased activity is due to because there is reduced glutathione, and it is a cofactor for glutathione peroxidase 4. As it is reduced, so the activity will be less. If glutathione peroxidase activity is impaired, it lead to increased lipid peroxide, as it will not inhibit the lipid peroxide. This leads to cell death. But in a normal cell, the amount of reduced glutathione is maintained, and it acts as a cofactor for glutathione peroxidase 4, as it inhibits lipid peroxide. So oxidized glutathione is converted into reduced glutathione, and which again act as a cofactor. So ferroptosis, it is discovered in 2012 and is distinct form of cell death. Ferroptosis is an iron dependent pathway induced by lipid peroxidation. It is triggered when excessive intracellular levels of iron or reactive oxygen species overwhelm the glutathione dependent antioxidant defense to cause unchecked membrane lipid peroxidation. The widespread peroxidation of lipid disrupt many aspects of membrane function, that is fluidity, lipid protein interaction, ion and nutrient transport, and signaling pathways. If the reactive oxygen species is increased, it will lead to lipid peroxidation of the membrane, and this lipid peroxidation will lead to membrane damage, and all the functions are impaired, that is fluidity, lipid protein interaction, ion and nutrient transport, and signaling pathways. The overall effect is the loss of plasma membrane permeability, leads to cell death resembling necrosis, as there is membrane damage. The process is, however, regulated by specific signals, which is unlike of necrosis, and can be prevented by reducing iron levels. So this is all about ferroptosis. Now examples. neurodegenerative diseases, CVS, that is reperfusion injury, renal damage, and also tumor cell killing, as in chemotherapy. They are killed by a process known as ferroptosis. So, in this lecture, we have covered forms of cell death, except apoptosis and necrosis. That is necroptosis, ferroptosis, and pyroptosis. The important points in necroptosis, ferroptosis, and pyroptosis are: necroptosis, it is a hybrid term. It shared aspect of necrosis as well as apoptosis, but the important point is it is caspase independent. Whereas ferroptosis, it is also caspase independent. It is dependent on glutathione peroxidase 4 for its mechanism. It is the master regulator of ferroptosis. In pyroptosis, this is caspase dependent. The caspase is activated, and the most important caspases are caspase 1 and 11. Whereas in apoptosis, the main caspases are caspases 3, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now necroptosis, in it, necroptosis, there is cell swelling, cell membrane damage, inflammation. And the nucleus is pycnotic, undergo karyolysis, and these features are also seen in pyroptosis. There will be cell swelling, cell membrane damage, inflammation, pycnosis, karyolysis. Whereas in ferroptosis, there is no cell swelling. Cell is normal. Cell membrane is intact. And the nucleus is normal. There is no pycnosis, no karyolysis. In ferroptosis, there is mitochondrial damage. So these are the difference in necroptosis, ferroptosis, and pyroptosis. That is all about today's lecture.